Now, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Jax is an amazing attorney, but she has very poor boundaries when it comes to clients. And after watching season 3 of Reasonable Doubt, there's some things that I wanna talk to you about from a licensed therapist perspective. Now look, before we get started, you already know this is one of my favorite shows, so put in the comment section, what do you think, or what did you think about season 3 of Reasonable Doubt? Because it is juicy. There's definitely spoilers in this video, and also I'm gonna give my predictions about season 4 towards the end, so make sure to stay for that too. Straight up, I think Jax has poor boundaries when it comes to clients. Period. Now, y'all may or may not agree with me on this, but her relationship with Ozzie as his lawyer, I'm putting emphasis on that for a reason, was inappropriate. Some of y'all may not know this, but when you are a professional, you are a licensed individual, you have a license number, you are an attorney, you are governed by law and ethics. Also, you have a license that you can lose if people find you doing some shady stuff. Even though she didn't break the law in regards to Ozzie, she absolutely crossed some lines that was signaling poor boundaries and conflict of interest. Essentially, she was risking her license, her career, and her livelihood, okay, all for Ozzie. And she can get disbarred. I'm saying she crossed the boundary as a lawyer because she cared too much, if I'm being honest. She cared way too much for him. And the first time that she invited him over to her house for dinner, I said, why are we doing this, sis? You putting everything on the line. When is it ever appropriate for you to invite a client to your house that is involved in an active case, that is involved in a murder case, and introduce him to your husband and your kids? That's crossing all kinds of boundaries and lines. Because what if he really was a murderer and a killer? You didn't invite him to your house and he could have just shot up the whole fam. Just think about it. As a therapist, I would never invite a client over to my house to meet my family and my friends, and we gonna kiki and we gonna laugh and do all of the things. That is completely unethical and breaking all different types of rules and regulations. I think she felt bad for him. She knew that he had a very trash family. They exploited him, all of these things, because he had a very bad substance problem. I think she felt like she could relate to him. And I felt like she kind of started to take him under her wing as not just her client, but also kind of like her son too. Don't even get me started on Monica and what she was doing, because that was just nasty. This also told me that she was trying to over-relate to him because of the drug use, because of everything that she went through with her own daddy growing up and seeing him shoot up and doing all of these things in front of her. So she knew what it was like for not only him to go through that, but kind of like to be a family member or be close to someone who has a substance issue as well. This is also another reason, another layer why she shouldn't have gotten so emotionally attached to him. If Jax was just this random clerk at the 7-Eleven down the street and she wanted to invite Ozzie over for dinner to meet her family, cool, no big deal, right? And so that's why I'm saying there's a difference between how she handled herself as his attorney and also how she handled him as a human being. I think as a human being, remember, we putting the lawyer part to the side, I think she treated him the way that she should have treated him. He needed that love. I think he needed that support. I think he needed someone, even outside of his family, to believe in him, to love on him, to give him family dinners, to hug him, to say it's okay, and who didn't want anything from him on the back end. As a human being, I think she was kind and she did what needed to be done and she loved on him even to the very last moment. But if we're being honest, Ozzie isn't the first person that she crossed boundaries with. Did y'all forget about Damon? Isn't that his name, Damon? The Michael Ealy character from a previous season? She crossed all types of law and ethical things with him, right? So this isn't just a one-off situation like, oh, let's forgive, like it was Ozzie and no, she has a history of doing this. This is a pattern. And this speaks to Jax having her own trauma, her own issues, her own daddy and mommy issues, her own trauma, the stuff that she went through. All of those things matter because remember in previous seasons, she was seeing a therapist, she was on medication, she was having anxiety and panic attacks. All of those things were very real. But I need for her to go back to individual therapy. It's cool that her and Lewis are doing couples therapy. Cool, bet. I want y'all to do that because I really think that y'all should make it. But also too, you need to go back and work through some of your stuff, especially since Ozzie passed, especially since she felt kind of responsible for that, and especially because he died in her house. Throw the whole room away. Throw the whole house away at this point. Before I move on, it has come to my attention that only about 4 to 5% of y'all who watch my videos are subscribed to my channel, and we have to get that number way up. So if you rock with your girl and if you're enjoying this video or any of my other ones, it would mean the world to me if you just simply hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button as well, because that does help me to create videos like this for you every single week. Let's get back to it. As I'm trying to move on here, I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this video because there's so much more that I wanna talk about and say, and I don't want this video to be 2 hours long. Let's talk about another conflict of interest that I've seen. I did not think it was appropriate for Jax to hire her friend, one of her best friends at that, to be Ozzie's therapist. Wait, what? Out of all the therapists in the world, all the therapists in LA, which I love, okay? I love how this is based in LA. I'm a LA girly, LA native, born here, raised here, all of the things. So when they have went to all of these different places, I'm like, y'all, they really in LA. Like these are the spots. But anywho, back to the whole therapist thing. I don't think it was appropriate for Jax to hire her bestie to be Ozzie's attorney. That is also a conflict of interest. There's tons of different competent, amazing therapists in Los Angeles, and probably ones that she worked with on other cases that she could have called up to say, hey, my client needs a therapist, can you do it? I'm not saying you can't refer people to people, right? It's like I have therapist friends that I refer clients to for whatever reason, whether it's not a good fit for me, whether they need somebody else, another specialty, or whatever the case may be. But I'm not actively working on the same case with the same, like that isn't a thing. And I wanted her to be careful about that because I feel like that muddled the waters a lot. And I mean a lot. Because it's hard to be objective when all of your homies are involved in this case. You got your feelings in the mix. When you done told this boy that you love him, right? Because you care about him, all of these different things. Like, you took it too far, Jax. I love you, boo. I think you're the best attorney, period. You crossed some lines that I don't think you should cross in upcoming seasons. So I feel like this season pulled on my heartstrings the most. Even though I was saying that Jax is inappropriate with Ozzie, I felt for Ozzie too. I genuinely also felt like the first time that she invited Ozzie to her house, I thought that he was gonna die by suicide then. I really did. I was like, yep, he gonna go to her house, he gonna OD, he gonna do something, and it's gonna be a wrap. So the fact that that didn't happen in previous family dinners blew my mind. But I genuinely feel like this is Ozzie's big break. I can't remember his full name, his real name, but he ate this character down. Okay, I mean, all of the actors in Reasonable Doubt is amazing. Shout out to Kerry Washington and all of the people who work on this movie. This show, because it's top tier. I already told y'all this is my favorite show, hands down. If Reasonable Doubt ever gets canceled, I'm gonna be big mad. I want this to have as many seasons as Grey's Anatomy, okay? Like, it's that good to me. But to give my predictions on season 4, I feel like at the end when Monica pulled up with that gun and it seems like Louis tried to kind of like jump in front of Jax, I feel like Louis is gonna be the one who got hit. I absolutely believe that she shot somebody, and I think Louis is the one. And I think he was trying to protect Jax, but I also feel like Billable Bill, or whatever they called him, is going to eventually wind up representing Monica, right? And then it's going to be a clash of the old firm versus her new firm and her own stuff, right? Which I'm so glad that they allowed her to start her own firm, because she should have been did that, okay? If you're bringing in the most coin and you're keeping this law firm afloat, why haven't you went out and done your own thing, Jax? So kudos to you, sis, for doing your thing. Now, again, there's probably so much more that I could have talked about. We didn't even talk about their marriage and Louis' co-worker and all of these other different things that happen, which I will probably do a part 2 on. But think about it from this perspective. Listen, whatever happens in season 4, I'm locked in. If we locked in, ain't no switching up. So you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching another review on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Be blessed. Bye.